What's up, everybody? It's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man card guy here, back to you with another video tonight. Just got back from a very long night of crime fighting and got a chance to swing by the post office on the way back, and figured I'd let you guys in on what I picked up and tell you a little story while we're checking everything out. So without further ado, let's see what came in the mail this week. All right. So, with football season, baseball season going in, basketball has been sky high lately. Obviously, prices are at the top of the market for the most part. I know there's been a dip on a lot of things, but I thought that I would take a look at some autograph cards from some of the greats when I was growing up in baseball, and a little bit of football as well. But to start off, I guess I'll put these over here, just so. Now, this is a dual autograph from Ultimate Collection. Ultimate Collection is one of my favorite sets. Most of the base cards are limited. This one in particular is from 2009, and it is Bo Jackson and Zach Greinke, Kansas City Royals stars, numbered 31 of 33. And I wanted to start with this one because Bo Jackson, as a kid, was one of my favorite players. He was one of a kind. I don't think God's gonna make another Bo Jackson in this world for a long time. Maybe LeBron James is close, but the fact is LeBron James didn't play multiple sports. So I'll tell a little bit more about Bo as I go through these. But next one here is from the same set of 09, numbered 3 of 17, and it's Hall of Fame pitchers, Jim Palmer and Roy Halladay. Now, Roy, the reason I wanted to pick this one up, unfortunately, not to touch on the tragedy, but Roy had a tragic plane accident and died not too long ago. And the fact is that he's one of the best pitchers of our generation here. He's a Hall of Famer, and his signatures, he's not going to be signing anymore. So his signatures are going to be in short supply. This is a beautiful on-card auto. I love on-card autos. These stickers that a lot of these companies are using, they're just BS, man. Sending a sheet of stickers over to the guy to sign 100, 1,000, whatever it is, and they stick the stickers on random cards. It doesn't have the same feel as these on-card autos, and as you can see, they're just absolutely beautiful. The guys really take their time with it. But back to Bo, he was probably the most naturally athletic person I've ever seen. Watching him play football and running the ball was just unreal. And I don't know if it was because at the time, this is Bob Feller, Ultimate Collection, same year as well. He died not too long ago as well. He signed a ton of stuff, but 8 of 19, one of the best pitchers of all time. So happy to add that to the collection. I'm going to get all these graded, I believe, unless there's some major flaws with them. A lot of times the Ultimate Collections with a thicker card stock, some problems with corners and things. So getting 10s is not always easy, but yeah, back to Bo. A lot of people, he was amazing at football, absolutely amazing. But it wasn't his passion. He is a baseball guy through and through. He loved baseball, and he was damn good at it. In college, he played at Auburn, right? And he won the Heisman Trophy in football. Best college football player in the country, by far. Just an absolute stud. So good, in fact, that people were willing to literally sabotage his entire career so that he would be forced to to play football, and he wanted to play both. So he played at Auburn on the same team as Frank Thomas, one of the greatest baseball players in history, Frank Thomas. And Frank Thomas wasn't the best player on that team. Bo was. Not by far, but he was absolutely amazing. Here's a Bucky Dent. So what happened was, Bo was playing for Auburn that year with Frank. They were competing for the national championship. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, wanted to draft Bo that next year to play football. He was the best college football player in the country, so he was probably going to go number one. And the Tampa Bay Bucs sabotaged Bo's baseball career, at least in college anyway. They flew him out to the Tampa Bay facilities to meet with the team. They told him, and he asked beforehand if this was going to affect any of his eligibility with the NCAA, if this was all good and legal, with the rules. And the Bucs assured him that it was. They lied to him, straight up lied to him, because as soon as Bo got back to join his team to start competing for the national title, his coach asked him, his baseball coach asked him if he had visited the Bucs, and Bo said yes. And unfortunately, that honest answer and the reality of what happened caused him to lose his eligibility in the NCAA. He was no longer an amateur. He was considered a professional at this point. And it's just tragic, because I'm going to get into the next guy. I picked up some really beautiful Ken Griffey Jr. autographs here. I'm going to actually do this one last. Again, Bo Jackson, given the opportunity, I think he would have been better than even Ken Griffey Jr. You look at what Bo Jackson could do in the outfield, Ken Griffey Jr. can't do that. And he's one of the best center fielders in the history of the game. But you don't see Ken Griffey Jr. throwing a guy out from the wall on a pop fly at the wall. And one of the fastest runners, I think it was Willie McGee, running from third to home, and Bo gunned him out, and he couldn't believe it. Anyway, yeah. So long story short, Bo Jackson got screwed by the Bucs. He couldn't play in the national championship with Frank Thomas at Auburn, and he was pissed, and he held understandably, he held a grudge. So when the Tampa Bay Bucs said they were going to draft Bo, he said, "I will never ever play for you, ever." And he kept his word, because he said, "I'm not going to play in the NFL." And luckily, Al Davis was a smart man, and he decided to draft Bo and have him play for the Raiders, and the rest is history. But unfortunately for that injury, we will never know what Bo Jackson's career in both football and baseball could have been. And I know some of you aren't old enough to know who Bo Jackson, I mean, you might know who he is, but might not know exactly all of his feats, aside from some of his highlights. But I would, if you haven't seen his highlights, watch his baseball highlights. You've never seen anything like it. But back to the video. So I picked up some amazing Ken Griffey Jr. autographs from Ultimate Collection as well. Now, I'll go through them one by one here, but this one, 13 of 24, Ken Griffey Jr., just beautiful signature. I love his autograph. It's on card, great blue ink, just beautiful. Mariners, can't beat it. Same thing, 3 of 50, not as rare obviously, but still has that amazing autograph. I think this is my favorite out of the lot, 24 of 24, in that classic Seattle uniform where he, looks like he's in his first or second year, I think. It just, the kid, as they call him. So, just amazing. And the reason I'm buying so many of these Ken Griffey Jr. autographs is because he's one of the best baseball players to obviously ever play. 5-tool guy, Hall of Famer, 500 home run club, multiple Gold Glove winner. The only thing he didn't get was a World Series ring, unfortunately. He really deserved one. But injuries slowed him down for sure. I think he could have broken 600 easily and started competing, But he never used steroids. He was never linked to steroids like Bonds and some of these other guys, McGuire. He did it the right way. Got to respect a guy like that. Frank Thomas, too. These guys, that's why they're going to go down as the best hitters, I think. Barry Bonds would have anyway, but he wanted, I think, too much. But the reason I like this one, I actually had no idea that Ken Griffey Jr. played for the White Sox. I must have missed that year. I thought he ended his career with the Reds, but he played with the White Sox. So how often do you get a Ken Griffey Jr. White Sox autograph card, right? Very cool. So put these right here. Now, to get into some of the better stuff, one more. Ken Griffey Jr. autograph, White Sox, 12 of 50. So not as rare, but it's okay. And actually, one more that's actually already graded in a 9 PSA, which is a good grade for these. It really is hard to get a 10, but 10 of 50, same as this one here. Not the exact same card, but of 50, and slabbed, looking great. Here's a guy that his father, Ken Griffey Sr., pretty cool, 11 of 30. It was pretty cool. First father and son to ever play on a professional team together. We'll see if LeBron and Bronny can be the second. I think it'll happen. I predict it. You will see LeBron and Bronny playing on the same team at some point before LeBron is done. Guaranteed. So you saw a couple of these in one of my last videos. I bought I think like 9 or 10 of these. But the reason I'm liking this is because I think even though they choked completely this year, I think that Kawhi is going to come back strong. I think he's going to eventually lead the Clippers to a championship if he stays with the team. I think he will. And these are just really hard to pull from Chronicles. I'll tell you, they're really hard, really hard to pull. So I want to just stack some and see what happens. He's a Hall of Famer anyway. First ballot, no doubt about it. With what he's done in his career already, it can only get better from here, in my opinion. So. Had to pick this up, and maybe I could have pulled it, but I figured, hey, spend $15. I probably overpaid a little bit, but this is a really nice looking one. Silver, Brett Favre, my favorite football player of all time. So had to pick it up. And now to get into some of the better ones, PSA 10 Gem Mint, Troy Aikman, 1999 Upper Deck Century Legends. This is a really great set. They do baseball, basketball, hockey, football. The basketball, I mean, in the 1999 basketball, they've got Jordan of 23, which I actually owned one at one point. Sold it a couple years ago for like $7 or $8 grand. Wilt Chamberlain, Dr. J. Those are some of the biggest names. Iverson is another one. But just an amazing set. Football's got all the greats too. Montana. It's got Moss. It's got Marino. I'm just trying to name some of the bigger ones. But this one is they're not easy to grade in 10, but this is a really nice one. Troy Aikman, really underrated in my opinion. I know he doesn't get the respect that he really deserves, but. This one, the next card, is one that I am so happy to add to the personal collection. It's a Jerry Rice 1986 Topps rookie card, 8.5, subgraded on the back. This is one of the older Beckett graded cards, so I may resubmit this to see if it'll get a better grade, because I think it could get a 9, maybe by PSA. 8.5, 8, 9, 8.5. So we'll take a look at it. But the biggest thing with this year set, if any of you guys are looking to invest in one of these, is the edges. The edges are always one of the biggest problems with these cards. Corners as well, but as you can see, the edges are pretty good. A little whitening down there and all that, but for the most part, really nice. So I think it could regrade higher. We'll see. It's always a gamble, but had to get this. I think this, you know, his records will never be broken in the NFL, in my opinion. And the last card. I am so pleased to add this to the personal collection. I bought this raw, got it back, a Gem Mint 10, and it is a 2019 Derek Jeter autograph, 44/50, in a Gem Mint 10. Just a really, really nice card. In a 10, you can't beat that. You really can't. So, but really appreciate all of you guys watching. Please subscribe, comment below if you've got any questions or any cool Bo Jackson stories or legends. And until next time, appreciate you guys watching. Take care.